The leak has not been plugged. The latest effort to stop the flow of oil from that broken well in the Gulf, called Topkill, has now been declared a failure. The move had been promising a few days ago, but now yet another procedure must be attempted. The president issued a statement last night saying this news is as, quote, enraging as it is heartbreaking. Here with us now live this morning is BP's managing director, Robert Dudley. Mr. Dudley, welcome to Meet the Press.
Good morning, David.
What went wrong?
David, we made 3 attempts to wrestle this beast to the ground by pumping heavy fluids into it. We were unable to overcome the flow. The scientists and the engineers from BP and the government reviewed all the data and determined that the best next option was that we needed to move as fast as possible to a containment operation, which we were beginning already, which will contain the flow and produce it to the surface.
I want to put up that live picture of the flow that we're talking about and ask you a couple of questions about it. I mean, this is just an amazing picture. First of all, you know, you look at this thing and you think, can't you just go in there and shove something on top of it and stop it? Would you explain how difficult it is in 5,000 feet below the sea level, with that kind of pressure to do that?
We have to do everything by robots, remote-operated vehicles. They virtually had to go down and construct a small city of architecture of pipes and manifolds and pumpings and then connect them with these robots. We had the problem of a well flow coming up through a top, through a blowout preventer, that we had to inject fluids into a blowout preventer. Some of them went down, some of them went up. But in the end, too much of the drilling mud that we were injecting came back up out of the well. We were not able to overcome it. And so now we want to capture and contain and limit the oil on the surface and in the water.
Well, you've tried containment before unsuccessfully. What makes you think this new attempt will work?
Good question. Very, very early days, we went down with a dome to contain it. What we found is that there's so much natural gas in what comes out of this well, it immediately forms an unusual thing called hydrates, which are ice crystals, which created the dome to float. This one, we will have concentric pipes down it. We will pump warmer seawater down around it to keep the temperature within the right range, a little bit of methanol, and that's the way we want to prevent the problem that we had before. The objective is to contain the majority of the flow this way.
What are the chances this works?
I think the engineering on this is more simple than the Topkill. What we need to do is go down with the robots, diamond-cut saws, slice off the top of that riser with a clean surface. The flow rate shouldn't be that much higher, and then drop over it this containment. It'll be a 4 to 7 day operation. I think the probability of it working is much different than the Topkill.
What, different? Does that mean better?
Better. Absolutely better.
And you think we'll know by about 4 days?
I think by the end of the week. As you know, the 5,000 feet of water, no humans could go down there. We're reliant on the robots. These guys that are working offshore are incredibly skilled at this. We've been asking them to do the equivalent of open heart surgery on television for everyone. They are very, very careful people that check pressures and temperatures and connections.
Right.
But I would say by the end of the week.